Hi, Libra rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 24th of March until the 31st of March. So, first of all, we are using Western Whole Sign House system because many people ask me, so I'm just going to make that announcement. And there is quite a heavy lifting happening in your seventh house, which is the house of partnership, and quite a lot of sixth house activation still, which is daily work and health. Now, since your ruler Venus is now in the seventh house for most of the week before it moves into the eighth house, the focus is on at the beginning of the week of how you relate to others without losing your own structural integrity. But we are moving away from the daily grind confusion to more of creating certain type of relationship boundaries. So last week you had Sun and Neptune conjunction in your seventh house in the sign of Aries, and maybe you felt a little bit uncertain about your partnership, or you might have been over idealizing a business partner, a spouse, or just feeling unclear about where you stand with others. But this might be coming to an end because the Sun now hits Saturn in the in the very same house, the seventh house, and maybe we are ready to make a contractual agreement. We are ready to set firm rules. Let it be professional or personal relationship, but if it has been one-sided slightly bit, then Saturn is here to help you draw the line and build a structure that actually supports you and not just the partner. It's time to kind of become professionally, in a professional way, us. And this could talk to you about marriage as well. Now, on that note, Saturn and the Sun are in conjunction. So the Sun rules your 11th house, while Saturn is the ruler of your fifth house. So this could really talk to us about, for example, that we have to be working through some of the intimacy matters and fun matters. But Saturn also rules your fourth house. So the fourth and 11th connection would talk to us about, for example, a child moving out or a child of the partner who comes to visit us. And is that healthy? Is that not healthy? Even it can talk to us about some collaborations as well with the fifth and 11th house, sharing the stage with a potential collaborator. So working together. But I think the pivotal moment of the week is, of course, the Saturn and the Pluto sextile. And Saturn, like I said, it's in your seventh house, and Pluto is in your fifth house. So, but you need to think back to 2020 January because we had the initial conjunction between them two in your fourth house. And maybe that was about restructuring your home, your family life, your literal foundation. You had to learn quite a lot what it takes to feel safe in your own skin. Maybe there was some issues with your property, for example, or maybe there were issues with your family members, and now we're gonna have to be able to move on from that. Now, Pluto is in your fifth house, the house of joy, creativity, and romance, while Saturn is in your seventh house, the house of partnership. So you had to learn inner security and the boundaries that you learned back in 2020, and now we're gonna have to use them to power this creative partnership, this joint venture. It's about turning your passion into more of a professional agreement. So if you have been working on a creative project, this is the week you need to be able to find a partner or a collaborator who provides that structure to take it public. It's about building a legacy together with someone. Now, we do have got the Vesta and North Node conjunction also on the very same day, on the 27th, and that's your sacred mission for the week ahead. Because Vesta is about devotion and the Node is about your growth. So the sixth house is your body, your daily work, the service that you provide to others. So maybe let's get devoted to a health routine, to a specific work project. This isn't just about doing these chores. This is about kind of like having to enjoy that as well a slightly bit. And surely it's work related because the dispositor of all this is Jupiter in your 10th house. So this is about creating a better schedule, committing to a specific habit. I'm gonna decide to do morning walks, or I'm gonna do some meditation on a daily basis. The North is trying to pull you towards finding your growth through the spiritualization of something that is actually ordinary. Um, we also have got the Mars and Pallas Athene conjunction happening in your sixth house as well. And that definitely adds that tactical strategy to how I'm going to be completing this work. This could indicate that you are quite busy though, but this is about coming up with a plan how to be efficient. And I'm going to start seeing the patterns in your workflow, how the colleagues are reacting. I'm going to be seeing, for example, mistakes as well due to non-diligence and certain type of mistakes, and others might not be able to miss those. Maybe you have to be dealing with some office politics as well, or let's say your health plateau, you have been on a diet and then it plateaus a little bit. This is reminding you not to use any force. It's just a period of time. We're gonna have to change up the plan a little bit. This could really talk to you about organizing your desk or just becoming more, organized with your diet as well. We have got quite a Cancerian activation for you as well. We spoke about that last week too because of Jupiter, Apollo, Isis, and Eros. Now we've got Sappho joining the club too. So this is about professional status, your public calling. So this is very much about that I belong to this field, and I'm gonna have to be able to have that feeling. And this is also potentially you want to be making a career change, wanting to be making a career move. Now, like I said, Venus is moving into your eighth house straight away. It's making a square to Juno in your fifth. So while Venus wants the deep intimacy, it wants stability, financial security, it wants to be merging. Juno is very committed now to creative freedom and personal joy. So imagine that you want to be merging your finances, you want to invest into something, but you kind of made that vow to your creative project or to your kids, and that creates a certain type of a conflict. While I want to be investing in partnership, but I don't want to be losing my sovereignty because I want to, do fun or I want to do sport alone too. So there is that independence there, and which you need to negotiate somehow. So this week is about structuring your partnership, auditing your agreements, auditing your contractual agreements. And if you feel like a relationship is one-sided, then how we are going to be balancing this out. Also having to devote to routines because your growth is going to come from looking at the minor details as well. And your health should be a mission for you. And making financial commitments to others shouldn't be like making you feel suffocated or suffocating your creative fire. Now, I would say that it would be a very good idea if you listen to the general forecast as well, because I'm giving you a lot extra details there, the sensitive degrees, and you might want to remember that the most single important aspect of your chart is the one that is triggering your natal chart. So, so that's why I recommend listening to that. But there is a lot of responsibility potentially towards your children, your partner, or your intimate members of your family. And maybe you want to be working from home and you want to feel a little bit more comfort at work as well. That's why organizing things would be a really good idea. The sixth house is about work ethic. However, Pisces sometimes gets slightly bit distracted. So Vesta wants you to focus, and Mars and Pallas Athene wants you to come up with a plan as well, but just balancing that out. So good luck, Libra, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.